Hello ladies and gentlemen, this video will be about Mars. Today, 22nd of October, Mars is entering Sidereal Cancer. This is the sign of his fall. Mars is a fiery planet and he is entering the sign where he is not feeling very comfortable. This is Cancer. This is the sign where he is fallen detriment. And imagine the fiery energy placed in water. This is what is happening with Mars, and this is a very long transit of Mars into Cancer, because also while he will be in Cancer, he will be retrograding. We'll be looking into this also. In order to see what the transit of Mars in Cancer will mean for us individually, also for the collective, we need to know what this cycle of Mars means for us. And I will remind to you what I spoke in November of 2023. In November of 2023, Mars conjoined the Sun, and this took place in Scorpio. Later on, in the first week of May of 2024, Mars became visible for the first time in Pisces. These two astronomical events resembled very much what the astronomical events of the 1944 November and 1945 May resembled. They were not the same. Back then, the conjunction between the Sun and Mars took place in Libra, and the first appearance of Mars in May of 1945 took place in Pisces. And I told you in this video that this did not bring peace. Yes, this changed the course of the war. This changed how the war theater, because it's a theater, how the war theater was played out, looked like, but did not really bring end of war. Yes, in some countries, yes. In other countries, the war continued. This, I think I looked into this in two separate videos. Now, so this is important to remember, because this is the beginning of the cycle of Mars and the beginning of every cycle, be it planetary, be it event in our lives, according to Hermes, according to the Hermetic laws. The beginning of every cycle is determining the course, the whole course of the cycle. So Mars is showing war-like situation, because he became visible in the 12th house of the zodiac, which is related to hidden enemies, to natural disasters, to people running out of their countries, to, you know, the 12th house is the house of the difficult karma. So we know already what the major meaning of Mars for this particular Martial cycle of 15 to 17 months means. And this is the key information we need. So now he's entering Cancer. He is in Cancer, and he becomes stationary retrograde on 8th of December in the 12th degree of Cancer. This is a key degree. There is something called nebula, Presepe Nebula, in the constellation of Cancer. This is the stomach of Cancer, of the celestial Cancer, and this is very, very well, mysterious on one hand, secondly contradictory, controversial, evil too. A placement of Cancer, very difficult. I can say this for certain because it is not described as easy degree by the ancients. Also, I can tell you, people who have this nebula on their ascendants or midheaven or with moon or on a key position in their horoscopes have some difficult experiences with this particular placement. So nebula also means something vague, unclear, hidden, because nebula is looking like a cloud. It is like a cluster of many stars, usually there are millions of stars, which look like cloud. So this is actually where Mars is emphasizing on the nebula of Cancer. What is this? This is hidden secrets. This is another course of the war, because you know his first appearance meant war already, and his retrograding motion into this nebula is also meaning secretive, very secretive, mean, evil actions of the parties which play in this war theater. Now, of course, Mars will be very low in Cancer because he'll be retrograding. So he's retrograding from 1 second. While retrograding, he is entering a phase which is from 1st of January of next year 2025 until 17th of January. This phase is called a chronicle rise, and for Mars this phase is not, makes him angry. This is not a good phase for him. So we can expect during his passage through Cancer, where he is hidden, where he is mysterious, where he can bring hidden war-like actions, like the parties will do dirty diplomacy, or the war will start taking place on the sea, in the water. So from 1st of January until 17th of January, Mars will be in this very annoying for him phase called a chronicle rise. This is, I noticed from experience that this phase makes Mars angry, makes him impulsive, not very kind. And this is in Cancer from 1st to 17th of January. Then on 19th of January, Mars, being still retrograde, is entering Gemini, where he will be staying until 5th of April of 2025. This is maybe relief. We will still already what they cooked for us, what during the stay, the retrograde motion of Mars and his chronicle rise motion. So this is a very important thing. He will be then from 19th of January to 5th of April into Gemini. So this is very important. Now, you know, while in Cancer, being in these phases, he will be receiving a square from Uranus, but not exact, thanks God. It will be a very wide a square, like almost even a sextile, but it's a square, because at that time Uranus will be also retrograding into Aries, and this is a little bit annoying, not good. They can have thoughts of dirty war, and I don't want to name things because it's dangerous. When we name things, we place them into the you know, into the collective akashis, if you want, and it's not really good to say bad things. So I hope it will not happen. But Mars is very hidden, very mysterious, very you know, unpredictable while in Cancer and while going through these two phases which I just described. Then what is happening further? Then he will be from 5th of April of 2025 until 6th of June of 2025. He will be in Cancer. So very long stay of Mars in Cancer, very long, very slow very long, very you know, going through 2-3 phases, because after the chronicle rise he goes into phase of cosmic setting, a little bit more benevolent phase for Mars. So as you can see, too long. You see, this is until half year, extremely long passage of Mars through Cancer. Now you know classically what it means. Classically, it means Mars is fallen, detriment in Cancer. Recently I decided not to be careful when naming the planets detriment or fallen in certain zodiacal sign, because we can also benefit from these energies, because when also the martial energy is not always associated to war, aggression, extreme ambition, for example, but it is showing where what we are driven to, what are we motivated to do, what are we aiming at, what are we searching for, if you want, what our attention goes to. And this would be Mars in Cancer. This is emphasizing on the energy of Cancer. Cancer is the 4th house, is ruling the 4th house of the zodiac. This is the home, this is our harmonious place of comfort, this is the comfort zone, this is the business at home, this is the mother, this is the motherhood, this is property, this is end of life. So Mars in Cancer indeed is very much about his fiery nature into the watery feminine energy of Cancer, but also we can benefit from this such long time, half year or more. We can benefit through giving attention and love to our mothers, working on our homes, because he's about the drive, what we will be driven to do, what where our attention will go. So instead of falling into the collective, into this agenda which is aiming at the collective, which is the warlike theater, the warlike agenda, we can really emphasize on rearranging our home, making the home place more comfortable, for example, improving relationships with mothers, giving love and attention to mothers. Could be a lot about home, maybe also thinking of property, arranging property, real estate businesses, and so on, so on, so on. So during this time of the year, most probably you will see more attention of people to property, real estate businesses, for example. Very much. Cancer is also the place of the moon. The moon is ruling Cancer. This is the place of spirituality, powerful intuition, because you don't have only the nebula in Cancer, but you have degrees which are associated with amazing mediumship and clairvoyance, for example. So we can, during this long transit of Mars into Cancer, we can certainly work on our intuition, healing properties, own healing, you know, because 4th house is also the house which is pointing towards the end of life. So it can be a time for healing, time for enhancing intuition, learning spiritual practices like meditation. It will be about food, like healthy food, for example. So we can certainly shift our attention from the intrigues created around the warlike situation to peaceful practices and our own spirituality and healing. So this will be something that we can do instead of being really worried from Mars. Of course, when you know this, I don't like very much this positive thinking, because when we are shifting our attention from what is going on, what is happening to the world, when we're shifting our attention to the positive thinking, we are missing the point. So this is also not what I'm telling you to do. I'm just telling you to benefit from this aspect and transit of Mars and not being afraid. Also, what is important is that Mars is not receiving any malefic aspect, neither from Saturn nor from Uranus. Yes, for a short moment I told you about this, but it is a very wide square which Mars receives from Uranus, so it is really not so bad. So this is what I wanted to tell you about Mars in Cancer. In addition, of course, I will analyze separately the retrograde motion of Mars, but this happens in December. We have time until this is happening. Of course, I want to tell you people who have ascendant Cancer. During this, the whole cycle of Mars, and I gave you the time periods, especially I will repeat to you, 22nd of October until 19th of January. Be careful how you communicate with others, how you drive. Just be a little bit more careful. Then this will be from 4th of April until 6th of June, when Mars will still be in Cancer. So these time periods are important for people with ascendant Cancer, with ascendant Capricorn, Moon in Cancer, Moon in Capricorn, Sun in Cancer, Sun in Capricorn, midheaven in this sign. So you have to be, also the squares can be important, ascendant Libra, ascendant Aries, the squares from Mars will be important. So be a little bit more careful, pray, do protective formulas before you leave, good prayer before you leave, when you wake up, before you go to bed. This is very important. This is really matter of protection. Without being afraid, just when it rains, we take parapluie, we take umbrella. So this is what I'm telling you. So remember, these are the time periods where you need to be a little bit more attentive, how you drive, how you travel. Don't go in risky travel or risky situations. I repeat, people who have on key place Cancer, Capricorn, Libra, Aries ascendants, or Moon there, or midheaven, or Sun. So, ladies and gentlemen, nothing to be so much worried about. We know already what Mars brought to us clearly from the beginning of his cycle until now. I will speak about his next cycle when I'm starting to prepare the videos for how the year will be looking like for each and every of the 12 ascendants, and then I will be also speaking about the next cycle of Mars, but it is a little bit too early for that. So all the best to you. See you soon. Bye bye.